My name is Prashant Deshmukh. I am the principal architect from Prashant Deshmukh and Associates, and we have 4 offices across India. One is Mumbai, the other one is Pune, third one is Chennai, and the fourth one is at Daman near Gujarat. Yeah, it's actually a boon that most of the developers in Asia have a fantastic opportunities all over, all across. Particularly that the entire development focus of the world is in Asia today. And the developments, however, need to be focused at basically mixed use development. By meaning mixed use, I really mean using various kinds of building uses put together, and not for one individual functions. You can have railway stations which also have shopping malls and the office buildings and things like that. And similarly, you can have hotels which has shopping malls and maybe multiplexes to combine. So these kind of mixed use developments are on the go, and they would probably attract the crowd. But then the entire Asia as it is, each nation within Asia has its own characteristics, and therefore an individualistic approach, so that the kind of tailor-made development if we can make as far as the mixed use developments are concerned, or even single focus development are concerned, I think that would be the key. You have to understand the culture, the economics, the lifestyles of each country, and then accordingly design your strategies of development. Yeah, the Asian scenario is altogether different. They are still bound by the cultural values, and they're still kind of in the process of fusion, where they would like to develop the way the Westerns have developed. But they would also love the combination of the past and the present. So this is a big challenge to the developers, where not only the contemporary styles are to be forced upon, and it could be a takeoff from where the past kind of architecture and the design was already there. But then everybody is very much more conscious in Asia, particularly as far as the cost effectivity is concerned. And that is why offering something which is fantastic at a affordable cost is also a second criteria of development. And it could be, as I said, the mixed use developments is one solution to it. Each country again in Asia has a different ratio as far as the population is concerned, and the kind of lifestyle. So again, going back to those things, we need to develop areas which are more of a modern architecture, new materials, new technologies, but then at the same time blending with the traditions, and that can take off a slightly a slower pace to adjust to the situations. So that is, I think, the kind of challenge that the developers have today. Yeah, the developer as a whole, should not get involved into altogether exercise which is, a kind of standardized one. There cannot be a standard formula all over. So you need to again, study the potentials of each and every place and the requirements of the people. I mean, they would be interested in technological aspects, newly developed areas, but then at the same time, the cost effectivity. So what are the return of investments? There are certain places in Asia which are growing at a fantastic pace. Now, to adjust to the fantastic pace, we require technological backup, proper project management skills, and they have to be more precise, and they have to be more accurate, and they have to be much more better than what it was in the past in Asia. Yeah, I think they need to prepare with a little different perspective. There is a tremendous potential as far as the Asian subcontinent is concerned for growth. Expertise in design that suits the market's requirements is probably one criteria. So there has to be a proper market study done, and then various strategies worked out. At the same time, the structures or the entire development that we take up should be designed in such a way that they have a minimum maintenance cost, so that there is no recurring cost over it as far as the maintenance is concerned. And that would probably mean using the modern tools such as green buildings, energy recycling, and energy savings methodologies to, that could be the best key to, get on to lower down the maintenance costs. Similarly, efforts can be done in quality design that will suit with the various needs and, of course, the lifestyles. And that could be also at the affordable price, as I said in the beginning. Estimation of the entire development for the next 5 to 10 years needs to be done, and the strategies worked on those bases. Like the designs, which will have a longer stay, a sustainable stay of adaptability to the lifestyles, and predicting the lifestyle for the next 5 to 10 years of growth will be a very essential strategy. And I think that is the way we can do it. Expenditure and costing should be based on expected and unexpected contingencies. It is possible that these being newer areas, and the developers would be probably fetching in newer consultants from across the globe. So it is more so necessary that the developers themselves study and control the expenditure and costing, and not get involved into the poetic things that are happening, which would not give the return on investment. So that is more important. And at the same time, while doing so, there could be a lot of contingencies which are expected contingencies, and which could be the unexpected contingencies. So they need to be studied and strategies decided accordingly. More emphasis could be given on local materials, because most of these areas also have different kinds of local materials, and these local materials, if they use, can help into sustainable development, rather than fetching materials from different places across the globe, which would add on to the cost, number one, and number two, will lead to a lot of maintenance costs as well. So I think these are few tips as far as the strategies are concerned.